the first month or so, I didn't really know what I was doing. Like anything else, you got to kind of find a center and where you're going and what you want to write about. I think if there's been any one sort of core motivator, it's been this sort of very spirited, very passionate group of bloggers upstate who sort of focus on upstate regional issues and almost spiritual issues. I mean, in the most pragmatic, kind of brutal sense, they've given me multiple column ideas. There's one blogger, Nico, that you and I both know, who just follows state events better than anyone I know, and I'll often look at her blog in the morning. I guess I've learned that there is a very passionate core group of people who sort of share in the idea that we could have much more progressive communities and would like to see it happen and feel frustrated because they're outside the walls of government. That was good. That was cool and sort of chilling, because it was wild to meet with this group of 6 or 7 people who I regularly corresponded with electronically, and I'd never met in the flesh. I related a little of this in the column. I had no idea what any of them looked like. I was almost shy in a way because none of us knew each other physically. You knew their voice, but you didn't know their body. But within 10 or 15 minutes, we just knew each other, because in a way we knew each other already. So many times in this business, there are so many ways in which journalists, we restrict ourselves from the greater world, politically, right? I mean, you can be very interested in government, but you don't get involved politically, and things you do in the community. I'm president of a Little League right now, and I really had to weigh that before I did it, about could that be a potential conflict. And somehow I just looked at this new world electronically, and I thought, if I wasn't a columnist, I'd like to think I'd go to those blogs, and I go as a human being. Now that it may benefit the paper or me as a columnist is good, but I really go as a person. I'm really curious to see it. It'll be very interesting to see what the experience with the comments is and how people plug in. The forum has been very interesting because I was afraid of the forum. I'd looked at other forums and I'd just seen people who just went way over the top, and I was afraid of, you know, honestly, I was afraid of having some unstable people who came back all the time, and I was afraid of just blatant hostility, and it never happened. There's some very strong-willed people on my forum, but there's been an incredible measure of civility for 14 months, and I'll be amazed sometimes. There's a guy who calls himself Cap H2O, and another guy called Stay and Go. I shouldn't say guys, people. And they go at it hammer and tongs. I mean, they really bang heads, but they never go over that cliff. They never, and they will come back and engage day in and day out. It's really fun to read, actually. I don't go there quite as often. I'll step in every now and then and sort of provide a bridge comment or something like that. But for the most part, I sort of just step back and enjoy the conversation.